Good evening. The latest on the China crisis. Chinese submarines have yet again attempted to intercept American naval forces headed for the South China Sea. Sally Jarvis is on the battle group flagship Independence. What can you tell us, Sally?
Jim, this has been an extraordinary day. We have no details yet of the encounter, but we all know something major went on just 10 miles from the Independence. About 3 hours ago, we felt, rather than heard, this huge explosion. By chance, we had a TCN news camera team on board a Navy helicopter at the time. As you can see, that was a big explosion. What was it? No one out here seems to be ready to brief us yet, but from the looks on people's faces, I'd say it was a Chinese sub that was lost, not an American one. Jim, if anyone out there is wondering whether we're at war, the answer seems to be yes.
Thank you, Sally. As this crisis turns into a hot shooting war, we are going to be getting regular contributions from a man who knows the Navy inside and out. He is former Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Jeb Thomas. Admiral, it seems in the limited engagements the U.S. has had thus far with the Chinese, the Americans have come out on top. What can you tell us about how the two forces match up? Is the Chinese Navy a formidable opponent or not?
Any expert in naval strategy must first examine in depth the relative strength of the two forces and then compare that with the sophistication of each force.
Your opinion, Admiral. Can they give us a black eye?
Well, I must say no. Technology-wise, their submarines have nothing that can combat the likes of, say, the Cheyenne. If you were to describe the relative technology in terms of decades, the Chinese are in the 50s, we are in the 90s. Theirs are slow, underweaponed, and have little or no ELINT capability.
ELINT?
Electronic intelligence. Sensors, sonars, subsurface eavesdropping, that sort of thing.
Admiral, I must interrupt you. We've been trying to get a satellite connection all day from Beijing. The Chinese government has been making it very difficult. But we finally got one. Standing by live in the Chinese capital is our David Kendall. David.
Jim, the People's Liberation Army has mobilized in force to take control of the main access roads into and out of Beijing. It looks quiet here in Tiananmen Square now, but 30 minutes ago, this is what we saw. It happened suddenly, without any warning at all. Given the fact that there have been no public demonstrations to put down, this may very well be a sign that the power struggle here has entered a new phase. This does not bear the signature of the man Deng wanted to be its successor, Jiang Zemin. Instead, it may be an indication that a more militant, hardline faction, perhaps led by Li Peng, is on top now. And that would be very bad news for the United States of America.
As you can see, we've lost our satellite link with Beijing there. I'm joined now by Dr. Adrian Mann, our expert commentator on China. Dr. Mann, I remember when I was reporting from Tiananmen Square in 1989. We lost our satellite link then, and it was no accident.
Well, Jim, the Chinese authorities take a very dim view of foreigners commenting adversely on internal Chinese affairs. And I fear that this is also a case of them deliberately cutting your link with China.
We must hope our colleague David Kendall and his crew are still safe. Momentous events are stirring in that great land, and they bode ill for the safety of the world. To our friends and colleagues caught up in them, we say, Godspeed.